As we navigate the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, we find ourselves on the cusp of a seismic shift across every industry. To better prepare for future growth and thrive in these difficult times, organizations are evolving to new business models and investing in digital transformation to drive this change. BMC is facilitating organizations to seamlessly evolve to these new business models and become autonomous digital enterprises. The company's digital-first approach with distinct tech tenets and operating model characteristics are supporting transformation through actionable insights, business agility, and customer centricity. BMC's autonomous digital enterprise is the framework for the successful future enterprise.
We are living in unprecedented times. We've just emerged from a pandemic, only to witness a physical war. And yet, we acknowledge and understand that the cyber war can be equally or even more devastating. Technology has emerged to be so pivotal to our existence today. And to say that technology has changed the world around us will be an understatement. Now, this change is no longer slow or steady, right? The socioeconomic, geopolitical factors around us have made sure that technology adoption is deliberate, urgent, and disruptive. The technology itself has been through tremendous changes and evolution in the past decade or so, and more so, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. We have seen cloud adoption, SaaSification, containerization, etc., becoming the new normal. Proprietary products and platforms today exist hand in hand with open source products and open standards, right? And we just need to look around us to see the kind of massive technology change and the transformation that's happening around us. Blockchain is a great example. It's revolutionizing the banking and finance industry. If you look at e-commerce platforms, they're competing fiercely with each other to kind of drive dramatic, change in customer experience and shopping experience, right? OTT platforms have changed the way we consume entertainment, right? And to top it all, the use of AI and ML has fundamentally changed the way we look at data and how we interpret data. So it is in this context that for organizations to stay in their A game, they have no choice but to accelerate their journey to become an autonomous digital enterprise. An autonomous digital enterprise is one where organizations put agility, customer centricity, and actionable insights at the heart of how they run and reinvent their business. So in today's panel discussion titled Master Reset, the Rise to an Autonomous Digital Enterprise, we're going to explore some of the key success factors for organizations to accelerate their journey to become an autonomous digital enterprise. I'm Shweta Sanjeev, Area Director at BMC, and joining me today on this panel, I have Nitin Kumar Singh from TCS joining us from India, Bhushan Patel from Tech Mahindra joining us from UK, Rajiv Nandra from HCL joining us from US. Nitin, I'm going to come to you first. Industry 4.0 is at the core of massive digital transition happening today, right? And seems to be a great focus, especially for the system integrators. How do you see Industry 4.0 emerging and evolving? And how important is agility in the context of operating remotely and autonomously?
We see the journey of Industry 4.0 from mechanical to the electrical to digital computers and now into the automation world. A lot of things has changed. Definitely when there is a disruption knocks, opportunities right behind, right? So in the digital transformation, there are enablers like cloud, automation, machine, artificial intelligence, robotics. In my view, these are the enablers. What is the important factor is the behavior. Under each behavior, the enablers are pretty simple, like cloud, automation, everybody knows about, everybody is talking about all the enablers. But actually in reality, how the enablers is going to help to build a business value, that is what is important. if you see, like, so Tata New App is basically, it's a platform which integrates with various domains, various technology, and gives us services to the end customer, seamless services to the end customers. So data plays a critical role about in any kind of an integration. And on top of that, artificial intelligence is something that means understanding the data, and accordingly we have to customize it. I would say tailor it. The business process has to be tailored and give a value. That is what is going to create the value to a customer. Based on the data, we can also create a revenue stream, a new revenue stream for our end customer. When we say embracing risk, that means with all the new technologies, always there is a hesitant that what if we adopt a new technology? What is the risk associated? But if we want to be in play, definitely ahead of all our competitors, definitely we will have to come forward, explore an option how to mitigate those risks.
Bhushan, I'm going to come to you next. How do you keep customer centricity at the heart of digital transformation, especially in a dynamically changing market?
See, customer centricity always has been a hallmark of any successful organization. That goes without saying, be it the legacy or the old generation industries or the new generation. I think it is very closely linked to the value you are able to deliver for your customer and your ability to stay relevant with them throughout the way the requirement changes. Right? Now, we saw in pandemic, the fundamental way most of the consumers and customers interact with the business, and even the employees, the way they interact with their own employers has fundamentally changed. Any business has to adapt to make sure that they are able to stand this change and service their customers and employees the best possible way. And essentially that has led to almost every enterprise worth its name has to start their journey to become an autonomous digital enterprise in that sense. Right? Each organization has to look at all the way they run their processes, etc., make sure that their customer touch points and ability to respond is understood. And on that basis, they have to become much more data-driven. Your ability to harness data becomes far more important than your ability to respond. They should be able to collect data which can give them some meaningful insight, actionable insight. And based on that insight, they need to become agile to be able to take those actions at scale and at speed. And unless you achieve this securely, all this digitalization will put your organization at risk. So security, data-driven organization, and agility are, I think, hallmark of using technology to continue to serve your customer.
I'm going to come to you, Rajiv, now with a question. Okay, so I think Nitin mentioned a little bit about AI and the importance, etc. So as you know, leveraging artificial intelligence has become foundational to become a digital enterprise now, right? In fact, AI has slowly, is shedding the elite tag and becoming more essential to an enterprise in today's world. So what role do you see AI play in providing customers with actionable insights that can help them in simplifying IT and business operations?
The world is creating tons of structured and unstructured data every day. And the onslaught is the IoT and other connected devices that is also creating massive upstick in the amount of information organizations collect and manage today. Many companies today, they are struggling to make sense of their data and to create tangible value with the data investments. I'll give you an example of the Forrester's. Like the Forrester report says 74% of the firms today, they want to be data-driven, but only 29% are actually successfully connected analytics to action. So actionable insights appear to be the missing link for companies that want to drive business outcomes from the data. This is where AI-driven solutions can empower organizations with actionable insights. In simple terms, artificial intelligence is a capability which combines computer science and robust data sets to enable problem solving. AI algorithms like enable machine learning and deep learning to create expert systems which can make predictions to take actions based on the input data. So deep learning is even more specific version of a machine learning today that relies on neural networks to engage in what is known as non-linear reasoning, where a wide range of factors are analyzed simultaneously. So deep learning is critical to performing more advanced functions. AI can also transform the way your company operates from the inside. So AI bots can be used as a personal assistants to help manage your emails, maintain your calendar, even provide more recommendations for streaming business processes. So you can also program this AI assistant to answer questions for customers who call or chat online. These are a small tasks to make huge difference for providing you extra time to focus on implementing strategies to grow the business. There are different within our vendor OEM or OEM environment, like BMC Helix platform combines AI monitoring and AI-based service management, providing full integrated service operational capabilities. So there are many such tools in the market today, which helps you actually go that to test that limit.
Nitin, I'm going to come to you again on this one, especially around automation, right? Automation, as you know, is a complementary business function that augments human effort, if you will, right? It's about hyper-automation of processes and functions for greater efficiency and precision. How do you embrace the newer technologies to drive highly automated business processes that are orchestrated, controlled, and executed by software?
Within Business 4.0, the delivery model has to be changed, the machine-first delivery model, wherein the machine has the rights for the first rights of refusal. That means sense, understand, decide, and response. Any business process, it's a layered entity. It's a combination of your application, the compute, or the resources, or the network. The sense will be at all levels, all layer, I would say. Be an application layer, be a compute level layer, or be a network layer. Monitoring will keep continuing being the sense, okay, what all needs to be monitored. Understand each data points, apply the artificial intelligence to get the contextual information from the system, apply the artificial intelligence, and accordingly create the actionable task. I'm sure every organization, they have their own delivery model. In fact, in TCS also, what the platform, Cognix platform, is based on MFDM, Machine First Delivery Model. Apart from the software, it is also important how to use and apply the software to get the context, to leverage the contextual information what we have.
Bhushan, I'm going to come to you next. Transcendent customer experience, we said, is all about delighting customers at every touch point of their journey, right? It's all about giving customers or employees what they need by making technology more human, if you will, right? So how do you provide such a transcendent omni-channel customer experience by leveraging technology?
It's interesting that while every world is going digital, basing your design philosophy around human-centric design becomes that much more important, because your ability to interact personally is getting reduced gradually by virtue of technology. Right? So in my view, I think there are three layers for designing a top-class transcendent customer experience, if you like, across any channel. At the very top end, there is an experience layer. You need to decide what is the demographics of your customer. And in that experience, I think employee experience becomes an equally critical part, because they will be serving your customers in the end. So experience at that layer, we have to decide what is the most critical journey I need to decide, what are the key touch points I need to define properly, what kind of data I will collect, and what kind of primary and secondary channel I will expect people to use for which kind of task. And it is not just technology that will enable them to interact, but it also involves psychology. It will involve HR in case of employee experience, etc. So I think defining experience and how the process will be simple, how the data will be, what kind of data I will collect is one layer of defining an experience for becoming a transcendent omni-channel experience. The next immediate part after that one has to focus, in my view, is the engineering to deliver that experience. In engineering is where you will talk about automation, you will talk about secure platforms, you will talk about agility to deliver different changes, your ability to adapt. All of that will, whatever robust platform you build, will deliver you the ability to service your customers better. And below the third layer, which is very important, but quite often not put as much focus, but as we go into the 5G world and metaverse world, it will become critical, is the networks layer. So every enterprise, now in telco, was almost a silent warrior during COVID because people talked about doctors and leaders on the front line. But the whole COVID pandemic was made far more bearable with the ability of the network. So going forward, I think network is an important layer for everybody to transform. And the success of creating that top class experience will be actually ability of an organization to build these three layers and make them work seamlessly. And that is where I think monitoring different applications and being able to deliver is where some of the BMC technology like Control M or Helix will perfectly fit in, because no matter which industry you are, no matter which applications, what industry segment you're serving, you will need to become data-driven, you will need to become agile, you will need to be secure. And there are product sets that BMC has, we have seen and implemented for customers, which make sure that all these three layers work seamlessly, give customers an ability to be proactive in their monitoring, take actions in time, and deliver that experience.
Rajiv, how do you leverage data for business optimization and growth, or even creating new markets?
As an HCL, we support some of the world's largest companies, and they are heavily reliant on data to create value of all their products and offerings. So we use different robust techniques and proprietary solutions along with our OEM ecosystem to perform advanced data analytics for our customers, thereby helping them with the opportunities for revenue generation, improved customer support, enhanced marketing strategies, and improve operational efficiencies. Ultimately, this will help them to achieve a competitive advantage. So for many of our customers in the retail industry today, so we use the OEM ecosystem, the big data, to anticipate customer demand by building predictive models for new products and services, classifying key attributes and modeling the relationship between those attributes and customer preferences. The data which you get give you insight through focus groups, your social media, the patterns, the markets you plan, produce and launch new offerings. So to put in a simple terms, we help our customers collect data and meaningful data, most importantly, in order to find patterns and trends to enhance user experience. And there are, as I mentioned, in our OEM ecosystem, we have the BMC Helix, Control M, which offers today both on-prem and SaaS version to help managing data pipeline across on-prem cloud platform. And we are working very closely with BMC to manage data across large financial institutions in the Asia-Pac region.
In the concluding part of our conversation, I want to touch upon another critical factor, right? That's very, very important in the rise to an autonomous digital enterprise, and that's innovation. As outsourcers and system integrators, each of you have your own proprietary platforms and organic and inorganic products that you offer as a service to meet customer requirements, right? But you also leverage best-in-class solutions from partner OEMs like BMC to kind of complement or augment your offerings and drive and add value to customer. How do you leverage your ecosystem to drive innovation, right? And to accelerate customer journey to an autonomous digital enterprise?
There was an initiative by our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Chandra, One Tata Operating Network, which builds a platform like Tata Group itself is a diversified. It has various domains, various group companies within the Tata Group. So the whole idea was how to build a synergy between the various group companies and leverage each capability or resources from the digital innovation perspective. We are supposed to have a platform on which all the group companies can be hosted and can have a single shared platform. And that is what is the innovation itself we have built within our Tata Group. And using a BMC Helix each group companies, we can have a shared services for IT as well as the non-IT users also, non-IT business process. I mentioned about some in my previous discussion about the business processes. So how the non-IT business users can be integrated? So like an IT users definitely like shared services users, but what about the travel companies like IHCL or the Chroma? So if they want to integrate in this platform, how the non-IT users can be integrated? That is one example of innovation, which through the BMC Helix product, what we have done within the Tata groups.
I think you as a supplier to any business or any customer, what value you deliver and how relevant you stay with them is fundamental. Okay. And in the past, the value of an Indian SI or any SI, global SI, was our ability to give delivery at scale out of Bangalore or Pune and have those skills available and deliver them economically was the value. And it served the purpose for both us and the customer for a long time. But today that is table stake and nobody asks that as its primary. Now our customers want us to become more trusted advisors. They want us to offer them an ability, if they decide to go on their journey to become an autonomous digital enterprise per se, they want us to come in and guide them through the journey. Help them pick up the use cases, pick up the technology. Because there is such a maze of technology. There is a 5G, there is a cloud, and there is AI, ML, and metaverse is coming, and crypto, and everything, right? Blockchain and quantum will come up very soon. So the value that we can deliver can't be just giving resources at scale. It is evolving. And when we go into that paradigm where our ability is more about helping them orchestrate use cases using the available technology choices, that is where the role of an ecosystem comes into play. If you want to be on your front foot for customer and help them guide, the pace of technology change is so high that you can't every time go and ask them to buy a new product or a new version. You will have to, between you and the customer and your ecosystem partner, come together and think about what is a better way of doing this together. Part of it you can call innovation, some of it you will call just better engineering, but that is how that co-creation is happening.
Based on our 2 decades of plus experience with running operations, because we are also, remote infrastructure management or SI and as SI. So we have experience of running environments of OEMs, service providers, and large enterprise around the world. We realized that operation is akin to an assembly line, where the inputs are like tickets, changes, releases, service requests, etc., etc. And the outputs are either documents or be satisfied, the end users. Majority of challenges touching large operations today can broadly be categorized into buckets of like lack of enforcement of processes and silo, monitoring tools, traditional rule-based correlations, skill sets, focus on putting more bodies to solve problem, and a piecemeal automation. AI or ML, it is not the automation, it is beyond automation. So we saw this is a common challenge while operating or supporting operations for 700 plus global customers. There were lack of next-gen tools available in the market. So hence we started building tools in-house, and also we use our partner ecosystem. So we approach digital transformation and innovation operational excellence in 3 different ways. Number 1 is the improved performance through enhanced business alignment, technology level transformation, optimizing operations to drive increased efficiencies and provide visibility. BMC 2.0 has a complete portfolio of solutions that are AI enabled to help enterprise to rise to become a digital enterprise.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today on this panel discussion on Master Reset, the rise to an autonomous digital enterprise. We thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and thanks everyone for watching.